when I do check-ins, I do PIES, Pies.
Okay.
Physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual.
Okay.
PIES. Until you kind of like, how are you in all those 4 areas? Phil Phails for you.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Sounds good. Are you going to go first?
I can. You want me to model it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Physically, my lower back's a little bit sore. We did like sumo deadlifts with kettlebells last night, and I went pretty heavy. I think my lower back's still feeling that, and it's early in the morning for some of us. Maybe not for you. And so my body in the morning kind of
Crickety.
motion is lotion, and I haven't motioned up the skeleton
Yeah.
yet. So there's a little bit of just like waking up energy in my body physically. I feel real clear. I feel really awake. I feel maybe there's a happiness. I noticed the corners of my mouth are turned upward ever so slightly. Yeah, it feels good. There's like a glow in my chest, like a sensation there at the top. And that's physically. That's how I feel. Intellectually, I don't know what's going on intellectually for me. These are always weird, these check-ins, because I want to be present moment, but I find myself in the check-ins like going into the past or into the future in order to find something to share.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Because like the present moment, if this is a present moment check-in experience, it's like, what is here right now intellectually? I think it's like, this is here, like exploring what's here, and I'm not really thinking so much about things as I am responding or being aware of kind of what comes into my mind. I don't know how all that works. If I was going to do some woo-woo thing about it, I'd be like, I want to just fine-tune the radio to some universal channel, which I think is this. It's kind of, I feel a little stupid saying it, but I imagine that's what artists do when they say like, I didn't really paint this, I channeled it, or I didn't really write this. I like.
That's what you want in this moment or in life?
That's what I'm doing. I think, yeah, in this moment, that's what I want to do. In life, it'd be nice sometimes. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about in life. I'll just worry about now. I won't worry about it. I'll just talk about it. Yeah, so some intellectually, some like awareness of this practice and being here intellectually. I just said a lot of words that don't really mean anything. How do I say something that's meaningful about intellectual? I don't know. All of that is it. Yeah, that's all sufficient.
More words.
Emotionally, I feel happy. I notice happiness is present. I notice... What's present? Happiness. I feel calm. I got this little feelings thing. Feelings on one side and needs on the other side. It's my nonviolent communication card. I love Marshall Rosenberg. I'm trying to get some MVC certified trainers to come on. There's only one in Texas.
Really?
All of Texas, there's only one certified NVC trainer.
Wow.
Her name's Brent. She lives in Brenham. She's camera shy. Well, I say that. She just won't come on the show. But you can use it if it's dusty, but if I look at this thing and look for feelings, I think there's, I feel friendly. I feel engaged. Probably some expectant. Maybe like what's going to happen, some excitement there. I like it. I'm on like this side, where on the other side there's like pain and sadness and tense. I notice like what's not present is like some of those discomfortable things. Spiritually, man, I never know how to answer the spiritual one. What is spirituality anyway? What is it? Is it the Palo Santo? Is it this ritual of talking to people? Is it yoga? Movement? Is it... What the heck is spirituality? I'm going to die. I imagine we're all going to die. I have no idea what happens after that. I don't know what happened before this. Some people seem so confident, like I was a queen in some past life and all that. I don't have that. Nothing told me what I was in the past life, so I don't know. And I don't know what happens after this life. And I go back and forth between what it means to be a good human daily, you know? So I don't know. I want to be spiritual. I know that. I just don't know how to define it. Well, why do I want to be it then? So that I can tell people that I'm spiritual? It's just, I don't know. I'm spiritual when I go to a mountain and I look up at it and I'm small. That seems spiritual to me. When I go out to like Colorado and I hike 14ers, I hike up to the top of these mountains and I'm in it. I'm immersed in it. And it's man versus nature. It's man versus self. And it's also awe-inspiring to be, it's just so little in a task that's so big that's going to happen, that's doable. That seems like God and spirituality to me. I love doing that. Do it a couple times a year if I can. Yeah, pies. Physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual. I'm checked in.
I'm going to go backwards.
Do you?
Sipe.
Yeah, sipe.
Yeah. Okay. You said, how do you define it? And it made me think that with spiritual, maybe that's the issue, is you're trying to define it, right? Because as you were talking, I was like, he's right. What does that mean when I'm spiritual? What does that mean, right? But I think what came to me was, if I think about times in my life when I felt spiritual, there was some sort of connection, and I can't define it. It was just something felt. You know? So sometimes it was like when my grandmother passed away and I read this book about like how to interact with those that have died. I tried some of the practices, and when I was doing it, it felt very spiritual. And what I felt was like more connected to her, and all those that have left. Well, not all those, but those people that were important to me. And then I thought about when I was traveling in different Asian countries and how that felt spiritual. And at that time, it was because I felt connected to something bigger than me. And then, so anyways, if I go back and I look at different pieces of my life, there was this feeling of connection to something bigger or to myself, like the kind of like the best version of me, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Where I'm at right now spiritually is lacking, I think. That's what I feel. Like I need a little bit of space and time to have a sense of connection.
To yourself, others, the world, in some way.
Whatever it is.
Just like you said.
Yeah. I had a moment recently and I was like, oh, yes. This is what I was missing. Right. But it was detached from my everyday life. It's like, you know, those moments where I was at the beach and just listening to the waves and smelling the ocean, and I hadn't been near an ocean in a long time. And so I had one of those moments, right? But then as soon as I got back to everyday life, that feeling of connection kind of, you know, it feels lacking. So that's where I'm at spiritually. Emotionally, I feel happy, friendly. I'm using those words.
Yeah, you want
I think I got them down. A little, I forgot the word that you used, but like excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, but also not excited in an anxious way, just kind of, because I feel pretty relaxed. Yeah. Intellectually, I find that one to be really tricky too. If we're talking about the very present moment.
Yeah.
You know? Like in this period of my life, I could talk about how I feel intellectually. But like in this exact moment, my brain just feels tired. So it's like, I can't be intellectual in this moment.
What about in your life right now?
In my life, I feel some days it depends, because I think of intelligence in different ways of, I don't know, like different categories of intelligence.
Yeah, like the Howard Gardner creative intelligences, where it was like musical intelligence and kinesthetic and, spatial. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that. But then also there's like, oftentimes I find that I'm having to, like in one area of work, I have to troubleshoot a lot. And that requires figuring out systems and then how to do this step before this step, otherwise none of it works.
Right.
You know, and then pulling from resources that I'm not, you know, aware of, and then I have to like research those resources. And so in that way, I feel like intelligently challenged, but in a good way. Right. Sometimes exhausted. Sometimes my brain just feels really tired with that work. And then when it comes to other types of intelligence, so I don't know what you would call that, but it's like problem solving, researching, you know. And then the, like what you're referring to, all of those for me kind of fit into like a creative intelligence, all of them, all those categories.
Yeah.
So it's, I would say like those categories are subcategories of like creativity in general. And then I feel like there's other categories, you know, but overall, I think, I go in and out of being like tired intelligently. My brain just needs a break to challenge, to inspired. It's just constant fluctuation. Physically, are you okay?
It's stuck.
Okay.
I'm good.
These are very noisy chairs.
It is noisy. Yeah, I realize
especially with microphones. Yeah. Physically, kind of similar to you. I don't know what it's called because I don't know all the names of things, but it was like probably a sumo kettlebell twist thing, whatever. I don't know.
Oh, where it goes through the legs?
No, not that. It's where it's you're holding like the sumo type shape, but then you take the kettlebell with one arm and you take it across to go to the outside of one foot. And then, wait, how's it work? You pick it up, take it behind your back, and then you go the other.
But you put it down?
Yeah, well, almost. You like, but it's not where it's the figure
But
eight.
it goes around your body.
It goes around once and then it goes across to the opposite leg.
Oh wow.
I can't think of what it's
You
called.
did that.
But anyways, I did that with probably a heavier weight than what I normally do. So my low back feels tired. And just same, like it's early and I need to move my body.
Yeah.
But I kind of like those feelings, like when I'm a little sore.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
It's like, oh, you did something. Little sore. I don't like it when it's, it's going to limit my mobility throughout the day.
Yeah. Checked in? I think my physical. I went to work out last night, and the guy, I'm trying to nickname him Ox. It's not sticking yet.
Because he doesn't like it?
I don't think it's because he doesn't like it. I don't know. Who
Okay.
knows how nicknames work? I got Shaky Legs. One of the guys there is called Shaky Legs, and that one has stuck.
Okay.
And then another guy, Chef. I think that one's gonna stick because he's always talking about cooking food. He's Chef.
Yeah.
But he's out of town, and he's kind of our strongest guy at the gym. And so since he's out of town, I think subconsciously I want to be the strongest person in the gym.
Oh, okay.
So I think last night I was using heavier weights in order to demonstrate to all the other men folk that were there
Okay.
who the silverback was
Oh.
when Ox is not there. This wasn't like conscious.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when I think back, like
You're reflecting.
there was some maybe something going on there,
Yeah.
which is fun. Like it feels good to try really hard
Yeah.
during the time, and oftentimes I will go easy on myself, like take it easy. But we checked in.